because the coolest season of them all is approaching. Spring is coming, so I want to talk today a little bit about bonsai care. It's kind of a after winter care, so you need to know what to do and when to do it, and if you have to do it or not, because otherwise you will pull yourself back and you will lose a lot of time. Do we need to prune or do we need to repot? Here we've got on the left side, we've got the ficus carica. It's an edible fig. Not many people love it because it has quite large leaves. And on the right hand side, the ginkgo biloba, which also has big leaves, and it's not pretty much loved, but I love them both. So first of all, I want to talk about repotting. You need to know when to repot. We don't just repot our bonsai trees because it's spring. So we need to identify if they need repotting. This will also come by experience, but what you can do is hold tight to the pot and just kind of wiggle the tree around. As you can see, the tree is not moving with the entirety of the substrate. It's got a lot more room to grow its roots, so there is no reason to repot this tree. I also know it's not a reason because I've repotted it last summer. Here I come with the ginkgo biloba, and again, let's see. As you can see, it kind of wiggles around. Okay, it does not move with the whole potting mix. Okay, the whole substrate. You can see it, right? It kind of is, but it's not quite there yet. Here I've got the Chinese rose. We're gonna do the same thing, and this also kind of moves just a little bit. As you can see, the edge of the pot, the substrate on the edge doesn't move. Okay, you can see it just moves in the middle. So this also doesn't need a repotting. Second of all, we need to talk about pruning. So the buds on this tree are starting to pop, and now I can clearly see what's what, because sometimes it makes figs. As I told you, this is an edible fig, and you can see here it's got a little fig from last year. Yeah, it's kind of mummified. And I think I can get it off by twisting it. Yeah, this is an old fig. So when I started this tree, it was not thicker than this branch here. So it was a cutting, and now look at it. In about 2 years, it has grown pretty thick. So what I did back then, because it was pretty straight, okay, it has one hard prune here and one hard prune here, because this is kind of the front, kind of like that, because I like the trunk line kind of like this. The tree grows towards the left, pruned it back, it grows toward the right, prune it back, and now I wanted it to grow towards left again. So I've got a little bud here that will help me guide the apex of the tree back to the left side. I also got a little branch here that can fill up the right side. I'm hoping that I can do something with this. I don't know. I can go on the safe side and prune it off kind of like this. Okay, so here I've got the scar from the fig, and hopefully a bud will emerge from there, hopefully. So if that happens, it's quite fine. I cannot rely 100% on this branch because I don't know what's going on with it. When you're leaving just one bud, it's quite risky. So I'm trying to make it beautiful, but also work it and build it quite on the safe side. Next, let's take care of this branch. So I've got one bud here, one bud way up over there, another bud. So this is the problem with this carica. The buds are pretty far apart, and I'm just gonna prune it here to leave 2 buds. So next, I wanna take care of this long branch here. I've got a bud there. The problem is I don't have any bud here. So the next bud is way up there, but I'm gonna keep it like that. Even though the tree will be quite ugly, I wanna ride on the safe train. I've got a branch here with a bud on the tip. I've got a bud here, I've got a bud here. So I can prune this back like this. I just want to clean up this little stub here with my slim concave cutter, and that's pretty nice. I also need to spray the wounds so the tree won't bleed that much, and I'm pretty much fine. So yeah, I know it looks kind of weird, but I wanted to go on the safe side with the buds. It's tricky, but it will get there. So that's about it for this tree. So the ginkgo biloba. Again, the ginkgo biloba has big leaves, but I also love it. If you wanna talk about a great tree, this is a dinosaur. Okay, this is prehistorical. If you wanna talk about sturdiness and toughness, this is your tree. Again, with the buds, just like the ficus, this has very far apart buds, so it is also quite tricky to build it. For now, I just want to tackle the little stubs, kind of clean it up a little bit. So I'm just cleaning it up so it will look pretty nice here and there. Here also, that went straight up into the ceiling. Okay, and just like that, I'm gonna make it look a little bit more natural. I'm wondering what to do with this apex. It's quite tricky there. I've got about just on the tip there, and I've got a branch here, I've got a branch here with a single bud on the tip. The problem is, if I prune it right here, because I'm very tempted to do so, this will be longer than the apex, so I will need to cut this back also. I'm just gonna have to look for buds and see if I can do that. So I cannot see a lot of buds on this branch. It's got a bud on the tip. So again, I will need to ride the safe train, because I do not want to have troubles of not having buds in the right places. So just gonna clean it up a little bit more. I got this tree about 4 years ago. It was just a very long stick, about 6.5 feet, something like that, and I just hard pruned it and start developing it in order for him to become a bonsai tree. I've got a big hole here, as you can see, but this needs to heal over, and it will when the trunk, the apex, and the branch, this branch, will thicken up. It will eventually close. So I already showed you why this does not need a repotting, but what I want to do is just a little bit of cleaning on the surface here, because trees that wintered outside get the substrate, the particles just get crushed, and we can lose our draining capacity here and our oxygen intake, water intake. So just wanna clean it up a little bit and put some fresh substrate, just looking to see what's happening here. And everything is kind of cool and fine, so we're fine. I'm just gonna put some fresh potting mix on the surface here. Yeah, man, that red from the ceramics, it's not that cool, but I will need to plant moss on my deciduous trees anyways, so I will do that. But now it's pretty cold outside, it has snowed a lot, so I'm waiting for that snow to kind of melt, for the temperatures to rise a little bit, and I will go outside and collect some fresh moss and plant it on my deciduous pots. And kind of as a bonus, I want to tackle this Chinese rose. So this was very small. This was like this with a couple of leaves about, I don't know, 5-6 months ago. So this has grown pretty wild. I love them. I told you I love Chinese roses, so their growth is so powerful. I want to clean up a little bit of this substrate here, because when I water it, it just flows over, and I do not need to repot it, as you have seen at the start of this clip. So clean up a little bit of these leaves so I can see, and you can also see, what am I doing here, because it's quite bushy. Just gonna do an initial pruning. I'm gonna save these cuttings and root them, and just like that, I want to see what's going on here. I'm gonna prune this off, and this also like that, so it is much smaller now. Just clean it a little bit more to be able to see buds. We're always relying on buds for the future development of our trees, our bonsai trees. Sorry about that. And where is this growing from? I can prune this also here to have a clear picture. So I've got a little branch here that I think it's pretty dead. So yeah, it's dead. So let's get rid of that. Okay, also little stubs and stuff. Clean it off. Clean it off. Alrighty then. So we're looking for buds. First of all, I'm gonna prune this a little back. I've got one bud here, one bud here, one bud here, one bud here. So I'm just gonna prune it back. On this one, I've got one bud here, one bud lower on the other side, so I can prune it back. Also, I've got a nice little branch here that will grow in that direction, and that's very good. I got another one here. I'm gonna keep it for now, just to put some more juice into the main trunk, and I will probably remove it. One branch here, one branch here, one branch here, one branch there, and that's about it for this pruning session. The trick with Chinese roses, with this hibiscus, is that you want to let it grow very powerful, very long. Prune it back. I'm gonna leave it grow very powerful again, and maybe I'm gonna prune it back even harder than I prune it today. This is a neat trick to get back budding. So I prune it here, I'm gonna let it grow big, and I will probably prune it right here after that. This way I will compact the tree. Also, the Chinese rose has quite straight branches, so if you're not using wires, I didn't use a lot of wires on these trees, just prune and growth. You can trick it, but you have to do what I said. So again, with my little brush, I just wanna clear out the excess. I will probably repot this tree later in the spring or even in the summertime. In the summertime, it's just a great season for repotting tropicals and subtropicals. So I'm just fine. I can take a little teaspoon and just do it like this. So the water should now stay in the pot. It's easier if I moist it first. It will work just fine now. These Chinese roses have a very powerful root. It's very aggressive in its growth, so it basically rises the tree and the whole potting mix, and it starts to flow over. It just rises like that because it has such powerful growth at the root level. So this is about it for today. The ginkgo biloba has already hit the showers. I'm gonna hit the showers with these two also, just to give them a very thorough spray and nice and decent and very good watering. Hope you enjoy this. Tell me what you're worried about, what you want to see next, what's the most unclear thing, so I could clarify it, maybe even in a next video. For now, thank you very much. Bye bye.